Our goal is to help you succeed, however way we can. Our team will build you a plan and tell you these are must-haves and these are nice-to-haves. Hello, thank you guys. My business isn't important, your business is. I'm gonna touch on a bunch of different topics and I wanna go through a few finding pieces of information that our our research team came up with. We're gonna touch up on a few things and then at the end, we'll do a quick Q&A so that I can answer everybody's questions. So the good news, guys, is you're actually in one of the better times, better economical times. Your industry is bound to nearly double within the next 5 years. So what does that mean for all you guys? It's a pretty big $713 billion opportunity. This is a big piece of pie. Everybody should be taking advantage of it. And so we need to talk about how we get there. Before we jump in, just by show of hands, who's here does B2B? Okay, and B2C? Anybody does both? Excellent, fantastic. So this is a quick diagram of what we call the brand growth ecosystem. It consists of 4 parts, and if anybody doesn't hear me, just let me know. Product, content, user experience, and marketing. The focus used to be on creating product, putting your creative side into action, and then you would have retail distributors, retail partners. You'd use print for advertising. Marketing used to be very localized. At most, you would go to TV, to radio, and then all of that kind of went away and the world went digital. This is where things changed. So change is inevitable because retail is taking a hit as a whole. In the fashion industry, last year alone, almost 1,900 fashion retailers closed their doors. And what does that mean for you guys as brand creators is that you guys need to start owning the consumer now. Consumer needs to be connected with every single one of your brands, and you can't rely on retail distribution anymore. You have to hold that ownership in your hands. Marketing today is a very interesting approach. Even though everything moved to digital, most brands use this expression called the spray and pray. What does that mean? So they spray a bunch of money across different ad channels, and then they pray that something turns out in their favor, okay? So before, when you had retail distribution, you had opportunities with digital. As things moved to digital, early adopters, the brands jumped into that opportunity. Now that opportunity is very flooded. Everyone's online, everybody's got a website, everybody's got something, and everyone's trying to fight for the attention of the audiences. The problem became that most people spend too much time marketing and beating the dead horse of marketing. You're reaching after the same consumers and you're consistently dropping a lot of money to try to bring them back to your website. So what's the end result of it? A staggering 3% conversion rate. This is across the board. So this is actually a very sad conversion rate. This is what an average brand gets for spending millions of dollars in marketing, getting a 3% conversion rate, which simply means that you don't know what happens to the 97% of your traffic. The biggest problem is for every $92 that you spend driving traffic, only $1 is spent on actually trying to convert this traffic into a sale. And that's because most people don't pay attention to what happens on the sales side. You're casting the big net, you're driving the people in, but your user experience is static. Your content is either lacking or static or not there. You're missing call to actions. You're not providing the experience that consumers need. They need to feel like they're in a store. They need to feel like they are connected to you. And all of us shop retail. When we walk in and we're shopping on our own, at one point we get stuck. We don't know what the decision is to make. All of a sudden, an associate shows up, asks us questions, guides us in the right direction, gives us options, and all of a sudden we're at the cash register swiping our Amex. So this experience hasn't been done online. Most brands try to go online as fast as possible. Let's get as many products as we can. There's lack of information, lack of photography, lack of descriptions, lack of videos, lack of reasons why people should buy from you. And so because of that, if you look at every website across the board from any part of the country or any part of the world, every website looks the same. The experience is the same. Everyone sees the same thing. And we trust the consumers to make the decision on their own. We are assuming that they know, that they're so connected to your brand, that they know that your user experience is to click on a certain category, a certain button, or get to a product page. So we have to change the way we think about e-commerce. What happens is self-sabotage. We spend so much money on marketing channels and we max out. After a while, there's so much you can keep knocking on somebody's door. Retargeting is the same thing. People already left. They didn't give you the chance. They didn't want to buy from you. We're still hunting them down with pixels and retargeting. And every single impression is costing you guys money. This is the money that needs to be spent elsewhere. One thing I want to mention is the negative email ROI. Email for the longest time was considered to be one of the best tools for marketing and driving their ROI. But one thing people consistently forget is the human capital. The team that it takes, even if you have an in-house team or an agency, the time that it takes to create email templates, to create the content, the human resources involved in generating this template, that you feel like, oh my God, I have this great list and I'm just gonna keep blasting it. The cost of that human capital makes it almost a waste. You're actually losing money in trying to attract those customers back. And one of the problems is, most of these problems lie in the fact that the spray and pray approach goes across the board, whether it's marketing, retargeting, or email. We have one email template that goes out to everybody. We have one message that goes out to everybody. We have one message that goes to retargeting. So how do we change this? We need to learn segmentation. Segmentation comes from behavioral marketing. Behavioral marketing focuses on audiences and dissects audiences into groups, okay? Has anyone ever worked with personas? Okay. Personas is what you define as your ideal customers, okay? All your products and the content associated with your products and the message that's going out to the consumer, they could all be categorized. They could all be broken down into different personas. You have age groups, you have geolocation, you have the needs, the wants, and the benefits. So knowing your audience and dissecting your audience, which creates a little bit more of manual work for you guys, but that manual work becomes micro-targeting, micro-marketing, where you can really hone into a specific client audience. Knowing that a specific age group, if we're hitting millennials have specific needs and wants. If you're hitting an older crowd, if you're selling a more expensive item versus a functional item, every single one of these segments can have their own content, their own user experience, their own message. And that allows you guys to truly drill down and find and plug the holes, close the gaps of your marketing. If you spend more time breaking down your audience, you'll understand that you're actually missing out on a lot of revenue. So we do want to understand the desire of the audience group. The products need to be categorized to meet those desires. We need to personalize the experiences. And we need to segment your marketing. All these things come in stepping stones. If you take the 4 quadrants that we spoke about and dissect each one of them, every persona will have its own place and they will all connect uniformly together. We want to avoid waste. This is when majority of the traffic comes in, you have to watch for the bounce rates. People that spend less than 2 minutes on your website are the wrong people to be talking to, okay? Spending time retargeting these people, spending money trying to get them back is a waste. Friendly advice, let them go. What we want to focus on is the bottom part. People that spend over 2 minutes, that drill down into your category pages, drill down to your product pages, drill down to edit to cart, check and edit to a checkout, but never came close. Those are the people that we need to pay attention to. There's a lot of analytical tools that you guys need to start incorporating, which will give you this insight. Using this insight, you can start customizing and personalizing your messages. You can customize and personalize the user experience on your website. And my biggest advice is never be static. A/B testing, consistently improving, consistently changing your experience for the consumers and see how well does it perform. In the content, you need to sell benefits. Why does a product, is the product meant to make you feel significant, or is the product going to serve some sort of a function? And work around those 2 key points. User experience, as I said, holding the consumer's hands is probably the most important thing you can do. On the website, when I land on your website, I don't know who you are. I don't know what your website is. I don't know where I need to click. And this is the end of our presentation.